Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dizzy, and we back with another episode of Halftime with Dizzy, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope y'all had a fun and safe Thanksgiving, man. I know I did. All right, had a lot of good food, had a lot of fun watching football. All right, man. I got a good show for y'all today. All right, as we had a lot of good football this past weekend, and a lot of good football still to come as we enter the month of December, man. Let's get right into the game plan. We're gonna start with the halftime headlines. Of course, the biggest story in football: Lane Kiffin going to LSU. We're gonna react to that and break it down a little bit. There was some crazy catches this past weekend in the NFL. So I'm going to give you a top 5 greatest NFL catches ever. I'm going to go flag on the play, then he's Diffie, followed by some predictions, and of course the halftime speech to wrap it all up. And as I say every week, man, 350 subs is our goal by the end of the football season, man. Make sure you hit that like button. Comment down below what you think about Lane Kiffin heading to LSU. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Share with a friend if you're not. And let's get right into the halftime headlines. There were a lot of good things that took place in football, man, but no story was bigger than Lane Kiffin deciding to leave the Ole Miss Rebels, who are 11-1, and take the LSU job heading into the new year, man. A lot of people were mad about different reasons, man. There were people mad at the fact that he took the job in general, that he took the job right now, that the school won't allow him to coach Ole Miss for the remainder of the season as they get ready for the playoffs, man. And if you've been watching me, you probably caught on to the fact that I'm like Dej Loaf, man. I play both sides. All right. I agree and I disagree with those who are mad at the various things that they're mad at, man. Let's start with the people that are mad that Lane Kiffin just decided to take this job in general. I agree with you. I do, because it's strictly a fan's perspective when you think about the fact that we love the stories of teams and programs and franchises who just have never been shit our whole lives, who have sucked for as long as we can remember, and then all of a sudden they're good. All of a sudden they're title contenders. Ole Miss hasn't been good since the 60s. And in Lane Kiffin's 6 years, they've won many games, and now they've gone 11-1 and are ready to make a playoff run. That's cool to see, all right? Why do we love the Detroit Lions so much? Because nobody on this planet has ever seen them be good. They've never been good. And now all of a sudden they're a Super Bowl contender. Why was everyone okay with seeing, Giannis and the Bucks and Jokic and the Nuggets, Shea and OKC go out and win NBA titles? Because they've never won anything for as long as we can remember. People wanted to see the Mariners win the World Series this past year because they've never won it. So from that perspective, yeah, it can make you a little angry when you look at Lane Kiffin and his decision to leave Ole Miss, who he was really starting to bring to the top, and say, no, I'm going to go to another school that's already been at the top many times in this century. They have 3 national titles. So I see where y'all coming from. I ain't mad at you, but that don't mean I can't disagree with you. All right. I disagree with those who are so mad at the fact that he's leaving Ole Miss, because that's just where we are in the world of college sports now, specifically college football. People are leaving every single day from their program. Players is who I'm talking about specifically. They decide that for whatever reason, for various reasons, they're going to leave the team that they committed to, man. We're talking about from NIL to team winning games or not, whether or not the cafeteria food is gluten-free. I mean, we have a dude that decided in the middle of the season he was going to step away from the team to prepare for the NFL draft. And he was a quarterback. At the time, he had thrown more interceptions than touchdowns, talking about he going to prepare for the NFL draft. That's why he decided to step away from the team that he committed to, the brothers in that locker room, man. So we're okay, and we've accepted the fact that these guys transfer every damn day, but we're mad when a coach does it. We're mad when a coach decides to leave. It's not like Lane Kiffin was only there a year, had an 11-1 season, and then left. He already did that before, okay? He was there 6 years, all right? He won a lot of games, like I said, and now he's ready to move on, and I'm not necessarily mad at that. Now, the next point that people are upset about is the fact that he will not be able to coach Ole Miss for the remainder of the season as they get ready for the playoffs. I agree and disagree with that as well. I agree with Ole Miss's decision to not allow him to coach for this reason. It's petty and it's messy. And I love it. I love it. I love when people get petty. I love when people, you ain't coming back over here and coach. I love it. I like it. All right. I love drama. Okay. Oh, I love it because it's like it's almost like, you know what I'm saying, you have a girlfriend, you have a shorty, right? And she ready, y'all about to plan a trip, a family trip. Let's say you going, Bahamas, Turkey, something crazy, right? A big trip, a trip you ain't never been on before. You, your family, your girlfriend, you're ready to go. And right before you guys are about to leave, she's like, I think I'm feeling somebody else. I think I want to be with another dude, right? And you're trying to process that and you're trying to figure things out, how you gonna move on from this. And then she hits you back next day. Hey, so I'm still go on that trip with y'all, right? Until, you know what I'm saying, then I'll leave you when we get back. Nigga, what? Shit. You gonna get done like Roscoe did Bianca. Let's go.
Wait, my bags!
Okay, but it's not only that. You got to look at it from a realistic perspective as well. If Lane Kiffin stayed with Ole Miss and coached them all the way through the national championship, he will be with them from now all the way to the first week of January, telling the best players, hey, make sure you following me after this. Hey, you see how we winning? We can do this at LSU. We can go back to back, or we can make a deep playoff run. All this stuff. Hey, you know they ain't going to treat you right. They ain't going to treat you like me. They ain't going to coach you like me. Come over to LSU. Those are the type of things that Ole Miss has to take into consideration. They also have to consider the fact that if they were to go all the way to the national championship, that's the first week of January. You know what else is the first week of January? The opening of the transfer portal. So not only will Lane Kiffin have to then struggle to get transfers because he's not even at LSU, he's at Ole Miss, but Ole Miss themselves will struggle to get transfers because they wouldn't have a head coach right there. Lane Kiffin, who's going to leave, would still be their head coach. So you got to look at it from all angles and understand, okay, it was the best decision to not allow Lane to continue coaching, man. But I do at the same time kind of disagree with it as well for two reasons. The first one is, again, Ole Miss ain't been shit. All right. Ole Miss ain't been good since the 60s. And if Lane Kiffin was going to give you the best opportunity at winning a national title, at saying that we have a national title, a national championship, we have a ring to put in our trophy case, I think you take that chance, because if you ain't been good good since the 60s, you have to be thinking, will we ever be this good again? Like, that has to be going through your mind. And if Lane Kiffin gives you the best opportunity to be good and to win a national title, why not take that opportunity? You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. The second thing is this. Lane Kiffin supposedly talked about how he was denied the opportunity to continue coaching Ole Miss despite the team asking and requesting that he be able to do so. That's huge to me. All right, pause. All right, pause on that. But that's a big deal to me, because when it comes to players all agreeing on something, you gotta think this is 100 guys and they're all agreeing on one decision. When they all agree on something, that means it's more than likely what's best for the team. That's more than likely what's gonna get all 100 guys to maximize their potential and their play when they are all agreeing on something. I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick. So if you've been following this channel for a couple of years now, you might remember me talking about how one of my last years at Rocky, I had a teammate that passed away, right? So that was towards the end of the season. We still had 2 games to play, obviously devastating news. And there were a lot of different things that we could have done. And again, 2 games left. We were supposed to go to Arizona and then come back home and play our last game of the season. And the AD head coach walk in and they say, look, we putting it completely on y'all. Y'all decide whether or not y'all want to play. Do you only want to play 1 game? Do you want to play both? Do you want to not play at all? Whatever y'all decide, that's what we're going with. So they walk out the room and we sit there and we're having a discussion. Literally all 100 of us are literally like arguing. Like, we are going back and forth trying to come to a decision. And ultimately we come to the decision of, we want to play the last 2 games. We want to honor our brother Chandler and play and win these last 2 games. But the trip to Arizona, we need the whole team to go. We're not leaving nobody behind. And if you play college sports, coach sports, or anything like that, you know that typically, it doesn't matter what level it is. Typically, not everyone travels to away games. If you're hurt, if you're not really going to play, you're a scout team guy, you typically don't travel to those away games, especially to for us, a smaller school, smaller budget, going from Montana to Arizona. That that ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? Taking a whole team of 100 dudes, having them stay at a hotel, all that stuff, that ain't cheap. So it's not like we had the resources just right there to do it. But that was our decision, and this is what we wanted to do. And our AD and our head coach made it happen. We ended up blowing out both teams that we played at the end of the season. So that's just an example. That's kind of drastic and kind of different, but that's just an example of how if you have all guys in agreement, it can just truly be the best outcome and truly lead to the best possibility for your team. And so again, I think that if you're Ole Miss who hasn't been good, why not listen to your players? And also there's also this factor, and I'm gonna be interested to see what that brotherhood of that Ole Miss locker room is like, because there can be guys that say, no, I committed and wanted to play for Coach Kiffin. He left. So I'm going to sit out for these playoffs, enter the portal, and I'm going to leave once the portal opens. There can be dudes that do that. This Ole Miss team could be missing a lot of their good players if they sit there and say, you know what, I'm not going to get hurt. I'm going to sit out and I'm going to transfer to LSU once the portal opens. That is a possibility. So, a lot of reasons to agree, a lot of reasons to disagree with everything that's gone on with this Coach Kiffin story, for lack of a better term. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to a top five. Top five.
If you got a problem, take it up with my butt. He's the only one that gives a crap.
I'm not sure if y'all saw the crazy catches that were made this past weekend by Traylon Burks of the Washington Commanders and Puka Nacua of the Los Angeles Rams, but they were a couple of the best catches I've ever seen in my life, all right? And a lot of people were sitting there saying those catches might be up there with the greatest catches of all time, all right? And it got me thinking, what are the greatest catches of all time? All right, so this is my top five greatest catches ever, specifically on the NFL level, because there were some college catches this past weekend. Holy shit. All right. So this is specifically on the NFL level. All right. Let's start with some honorable mentions. I got 3 of them. Number 8, the Puka Nacua catch. You don't understand how difficult it is to sit there and dive and catch it with one hand in general, but with the inside hand specifically to bring that in, that is incredible. That is stupid, man. A lot of people can't make that type of catch with 2 hands, but to make that catch with the inside hand, that's just incredible, man. What a catch that was by Puka Nacua. Number 7, again, another honorable mention, and again, it's Traylon Burks of the Washington Commanders. That catch against the Denver Broncos, man, you don't understand how difficult it is to stop the ball from spinning, to stop the ball from bouncing off your hand and hitting the ground, to bring it all the way in, to complete the process of the catch with one hand and catching it the way that he did at the position that he did. That's extremely difficult, man. And for him to do it like that, that was crazy, man. Very reminiscent of another catch that we're going to get into later, man. Moving on to number 6. Again, another honorable mention. DeAndre Hopkins back in 2020. Hail Mary catch against the Buffalo Bills to give the Cardinals a win, man. If you take a look at this play, it looked like an episode of Black, man. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 guys in the front, 1 guy behind him. The game was on the line. Everyone knew the ball was going to him, and still Kyler Murray throws it. He escapes the pocket and gets it downfield, and D-Hop rises up and brings it in with 3 guys contesting the catch, man. Insane. One of the craziest catches I've ever seen live, man. Those are my 3 honorable mentions. Let's get into the list now. Number 5, I got Randy Moss against Darrelle Revis back in the day. After 5 yards, throwing his arm up saying, throw me the damn ball, and then he catches it with one hand after being overthrown. Okay, you guys don't understand how good Darrelle Revis was. Motherfuckers can have 3 hands and not catch the ball on him. But for Randy to break the press and blow by him and catch it with one hand, crazy. That's crazy work, and that's not everyday stuff that you see, and you didn't see it happen much or many times, I should say, against Darrelle Revis, the Hall of Fame corner. All right, moving on to number 4, the immaculate reception. All right, it's 7-6. The Steelers are down. They need a score. Seconds left on the clock. Terry Bradshaw throws deep. It bounces off a defender's head, and Franco Harris makes the catch and runs it in for the touchdown to give the Steelers the win over John Madden's Raiders, man. Just history and just flat out cinema. All right, for y'all old heads, yeah, I know my stuff. I know my stuff from back in the day. All right, so that's number 4 on the list. Number 3, I got the helmet catch, man. Eli Manning escaping multiple D linemen for the Patriots and throwing it downfield to David Tyree, and he catches it, smashes it against his helmet, and is able to keep it from hitting the ground. And that play sparked the game-winning drive for the New York Giants in the Super Bowl to keep the 16-0 Patriots from completing the undefeated season. The Giants were major underdogs, weren't supposed to win that game, weren't supposed to be in that game, and yet they won. And a big reason for that was that crazy catch by David Tyree, man. That's number 3. Number 2, I got to go with Julian Edelman, man. Against the Falcons, again, another game-winning drive or game-tying drive. Remember, the Falcons were up 28-3, and the Patriots stormed all the way back. This drive was to send it to overtime, and Tom Brady says, fuck it, Julian Edelman out there somewhere. He nearly throws an interception. It's batted around multiple times, and Julian Edelman dives and somehow keeps the ball from hitting the ground. And again, that kept that drive going and ended up tying up the game, and the Patriots were able to win it in overtime after being down 28-3. Insane catch. I don't understand how he got it. And, because when you hit the floor and when you dive, a lot of times motherfuckers is closing their eyes and saying, Jesus, please. He was able to keep his eyes open, not only keep his eyes open, but stay focused on the ball and catch it and keep it from hitting the ground when it was so close to hitting the ground, man. Insane catch. That's why it's top 2. But number 1, man, for me especially, y'all already know. Y'all ain't seen it on the list, so y'all should already know that it's there. It's got to be Odell Beckham Jr., man. I mean, I can't even – I don't even know what to say. Y'all don't even understand what it did from a cultural perspective for the game. Like, OBJ, he didn't invent the one-hand. He wasn't the first ever to do one-handed catch, right? But after that, it wasn't no motherfucker not practicing one-handed catches after that Odell Beckham Jr. catch. It wasn't no nigga walking around not doing the whip, you know what I'm saying? Not doing the fro hawk with the dyed hair. I mean, it was just he just changed the game and changed the culture with that crazy ass catch. Only needed 3 fingers. He had just gotten held by a Cowboys DB. It was pass interference, and yet he still brought the ball in, man. That's the craziest catch I've ever seen in my life, man. And that's why it's number 1 for greatest catches ever. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
They wind up losing 14 yards.
How about from now on you call a fair game? How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Wet Willie.
Flag on the play, man. Again, it's a little segment where if people saying something crazy in the NFL and college, I'm address it, or it can just be something a little funny, something to do a quick laugh, man. But in this case, I got some bones to pick with a couple of people, man. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check out what he had to say after they lost to the Buffalo Bills this past weekend.
How do you kind of go through that with your pass catchers where it's saying, hey, maybe I saw this, you see this, iron those out over the last 5 minutes?
When there's film sessions, everybody shows up. And when I check to a route, you do the right route, Like, John and I just weren't on the same page. I checked to his in-breaker, and he ran an outbreaker. John is a true professional, so I'm sure he's sick about that. But, I threw a ball I thought was going to get hit by the wind, and it was 4 yards over Roman. So I got to make that throw. But, we have our meetings every week. We have other opportunities outside of the facility, and look forward to seeing all the boys there.
I don't think there's a single quarterback that is as reluctant to take accountability as Aaron Rodgers is, man. And I get it. Illustrious career, first ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, but I could give a fuck. All right, that does not negate how bad the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is looking this season with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, okay? And you know what could have fixed all this or prevented all of this, I should say? If Aaron Rodgers didn't take so long to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though he knew he was going to, and instead of that, he's out in L.A. having one-on-one sessions with just DK Metcalf. If he didn't do that and actually signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers and was there in OTAs and in training camp, building that chemistry, getting those reps with those receivers, maybe he wouldn't be sitting here complaining about how there's not that chemistry with those receivers, and it's because they're missing film sessions. Now, of course, if you're missing film sessions, that's bad. But you don't think that relationship could have been established earlier? You only really had it with DK Metcalf, and I mean, he's not even looking good right now. Your relationship with him not looking good right now when it comes to getting him the ball on the field. So, once again, I have an issue with Aaron Rodgers because he says things and has issues with certain things that he himself could have prevented. It's happened multiple times before, and it's happening again here at the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is why I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go far, and everyone else is noticing that as well. Let's move on to this next clip.
Shedeur Sanders is the most powerful black man since 2009. You know what happened in 2009?
Right.
That's when President Obama got elected in office. He's the most powerful black man since 2009. You said you were sitting there watching the game in your house, and what you did? You ran with the TV.
Goddamn right,
right?
I did.
What was you doing, DB?
I was cheering. I was happy.
You was cheering like a motherfucker. When Shedeur Sanders is on the field, and when I say powerful because there's two sides of it, right? Think about it. Okay, you got the black community. He bringing the whole black community together. I ain't ran across one black person that done said one bad thing about Shedeur.
We want him.
And guess what? Not one, because he has the balance. He has the balance of that. I'm arrogant, but I'm humble too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
He have fun with this shit.
And he having fun with this shit. And on top of that, y'all want me to say it ain't. Y'all want me to feel it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, he talking shit. I love that shit, bro.
He's the most powerful black man in sports. No other. Matter of fact, fuck black man. He the most powerful player in sports.
You get what I mean now? You hear what I'm saying now? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I didn't want to talk about Shedeur in this video. But then I saw that, and I'm like, come on, dog. Come on, bro. I actually got pressed about Shedeur Sanders this past weekend. This dude at my boy ZZ's little kickback kept all up in my face, you know, you hate Shedeur. You hate Shedeur. Now, granted, this dude ended up like this. But again, my issue is not with Shedeur. My issue is with everyone who, quote unquote, supports him like this, trying to say that he's the most powerful dude since Barack Obama, the most powerful black man since Barack Obama. Are you fucking serious? Ain't no fucking way. All right. And you can see how ridiculous that is. And those are the type of people that, quote unquote, support Shedeur. Okay. And that's part of why there's a lot of people that don't like him, that purposely don't like him and just completely dismiss what he does on the field and the reasons that Shedeur himself give you to like him. And that's what I have an issue with, man. But that video, I can't believe Kendrick Perkins said that bullshit, bro. Let's move to the next clip. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Y'all parents out there that have gone soft and it's like, no, my kid can't be yelled at. My kid can't be treated like that. And that's why a lot of them motherfuckers suck. And a lot of their teams suck. All right. You up 40-something to damn 8-6, whatever the score was, and you doing up downs at halftime. That's building some character right there. That makes sure that whatever mistake was made, it ain't getting made again. And I bet you they ended up winning that game 85-8, bro. Like, that's the type of stuff. That's the culture that needs to be instilled. And that's the type of lessons that need to be learned when it comes to young men playing football, man. Not sitting out here teaching them that, oh, whenever you don't like something, just up and leave. That's okay. Bail out on your team. No, all the bullshit that y'all are teaching y'all kids these days, that's ridiculous, all right? That shouldn't be going on. That right there, up downs at halftime when you up by 40 points, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what's going to get these young men in shape, all right? Let's move on to this last clip.
Y'all better stretch your hamstring. Stretch your hamstring. Get set. Go. Hit my hand. Hamstring.
Got him.
You gotta get rid of this.
It's messed up because OG that pulled this shit, he had a good get off. He was moving at the start. And then his tire went flat on. I think the funnier part is how my guy in the back saw him pull his shit and said, "Oh no, I'm cool. I'm cool on that." I'm telling y'all niggas that think y'all still got it. Y'all don't, man. Y'all just hurting yourselves, all right? That's it for Flag on the Play. Let's move on to He's Diffy.
Wide open man. A flick into the end zone by Jerome Simpson. Oh, goodness.
First up on He's Diffy, man, I want to shed some light on my dog, Darius Haskins. He was a teammate of mine at Rocky Mountain College. I talked about him a few weeks ago, man, because he was having a crazy season. His stats were insane, all right? And now he's hit the portal, and he has multiple Division I offers. I want to shed some light on that because if I have any young guns watching or parents of young men watching, man, that sit there and think it's D1 or bust, if I don't get a D1 offer out of high school, then the dream is dead. That's not true, all right? I guarantee you my boy Darius had Division I dreams and aspirations coming out of high school, but he went with his best option, which was an NAIA school, balled out, became an all-conference dude, an all-American caliber dude, and now he has 10 Division I offers and is ready to move on to a Division I school, still living out his dream that he had in high school. So that's just someone that you guys can look at and learn from, man, and understand that it's not D1 or bust. And just because you don't get a D1 offer right away doesn't mean that the dream is dead, all right? Shout out to my boy D-Has. Let's move on to a quarterback who had a great game this past weekend. That's Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss quarterback, 359 pass yards and 4 touchdowns in the Egg Bowl in his, probably his last game under Lane Kiffin, unless he transferred to LSU. Okay. KJ Duff, wide receiver for Rutgers, man. Check out this catch. I mean, insane, bro. I don't know what the receivers was on this past weekend, but they was doing some dumb shit. Did y'all see the almost catch that happened in the Oregon game?
A great title. Almost a one-handed catch. Wait a minute.
This has got to be reviewed.
This is the best look we'll get.
I don't think he re-catches it. I think he...
That shit is the greatest incomplete pass of all time, okay? I don't care what y'all say. But because it wasn't completed, he's not on He's Diffy, all right? Darius Haskins, Trinidad Chambliss, KJ Duff, those boys was different this past weekend, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to some predictions.
One thing.
Like I did last week, man, we're going to start with NFL, then move on to college. We got some conference championships in college, so we're going to start with NFL first. Pittsburgh Steelers going down to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I got the Ravens winning this game, man. I think they're starting to roll a little bit. I think this offense of Baltimore will be able to score on this Steelers defense that's been a little mediocre. The Steelers offense has been mediocre, so I think Baltimore will be able to get some stops, and I think that they're really going to go on a run and make this late playoff push. If they win this game, they'll take over the AFC North and ensure that they have a playoff spot as long as they win the rest of the way out. So I got Baltimore winning this game. Next up, the Chicago Bears, who's the number 1 seed in the NFC right now, taking on the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. This one's tough, man, because I noticed something about Green Bay. They can be either the best team in the NFC or the worst. They can be the most dangerous team or the team that is least of your concerns, because I noticed something. They play up and play down to their competition. When they are on the field with the Panthers or the Browns, they look like they ain't never played football before. They look like they about to get Matt LaFleur fired. But when they on the field with the Detroit Lions or with anyone that has a real shot at beating them, they're all of a sudden an elite team that can be a Super Bowl threat, a Super Bowl contender, man. I don't know why that is. It's like a high school type of thing, but it's true when it comes to the Green Bay Packers if you really watch them play, man. And I think I'm going to pick them to win this game, okay? It's just something about Packers Bears. The Packers are always gonna beat the Bears. Okay, and it's at Lambeau. I'm gonna take the Packers to win this game because they're gonna see how well the Bears have been doing and how well they've been playing and how much of a chance they have at beating Green Bay, and they're gonna say, 1 second. Let's reel this in and remind you who owns you. All right, give me the Packers to win this game at home. Let's move into these conference championships in college, man. Starting with the Mountain West, UNLV versus Boise State, man. Boise State beat them earlier in the year. It's hard to beat a team twice, and at the end of the day, Boise State ain't got this. Therefore, I'm going to take UNLV to win this game, okay? Next up, the Big 12 Championship. Number 5, Texas Tech taking on 11 BYU. Y'all know how much I love me some Texas Tech, man. I got Texas Tech winning this game, even though I just said it's hard to beat a team twice, and Texas Tech Red Raiders already beat BYU. I'm going to pick them to beat them again. All right, give me Texas Tech to win this game and become Big 12 champions. SEC Championship, number 4, Georgia taking on number 10, Alabama. I got Georgia winning this game, man. I think they're rolling right now. Winners of, I think it's 8 straight. This defense is relentless. This offense can score however they want. They could ground and pound you, or they can get it to their playmakers in space or throw it to them deep down the field. Either way, they're going to score points. And I don't know if this Alabama team will be ready for it. Give me Georgia to win the SEC. Lastly, probably the most anticipated game of the year, a collision course between number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Indiana. I'm standing on business. I'm not backtracking or nothing. I'm taking Indiana to win this game. I still believe they're more battle tested. I still believe that they have what it takes to match up with Ohio State, and I think they're rolling right now, and they'll be able to pull off the win. Even though there was cause for pause when I saw Ohio State run the ball like they did against Michigan, I don't think Indiana will allow that, man. Those are my predictions for the weekend. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to the halftime speech.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I'm putting my heart in this shit, dog. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Lord, this one inside your heart and find out who you really are. Make sure you look at your teammates today and you come out and you give pure hell today. This team ain't ready for us. Let's prove that they ain't ready for us. Oh, get in here. Let's go. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives.
Halftime speech, you already know what it is, man. A little nugget to help you get to the rest of your day, week, month, year, wherever you are in life. I hope that something I say helps push you a little bit, man. My message for today is just because the goal is reached doesn't mean the job is finished. Just because the goal is reached doesn't mean the job is finished. We're ending 2025, and you may look back on the year and say, man, I accomplished a lot. I checked off a lot of boxes on my list of goals, and I'm happier where I'm at. Doesn't mean you can't aim bigger for the next year, man. Doesn't mean it has to stop there. If God bless you with everything you needed for 2025, best believe he'll bless you with everything you need for 2026. Start writing down some goals that are bigger, that are better, that are just going to bring the best out of you, that's going to make you work even harder. I know I started. All right, I checked off a lot of boxes for goals that I didn't even know I had this past year, man. And I'm beyond blessed, and I'm thankful to God for that. But now I'm starting to look at 2026 and say, I'm gonna go bigger. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna find ways to push out better content, and I know that God is gonna help me do that as well, man. So I hope that as we close out 2025, as you look at all the goals that you've accomplished, you realize that there's more goals to be reached, and that 2026 is going to be even better than 2025 was, man. I hope that motivated you a little bit, man. That's all I got for this episode of Halftime with Dizzy, man. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, share with a friend if you're not, and just stay tuned. I have another video for you real soon.